Good evening and welcome to North Allegheny. My name is John Kreider, and it is my pleasure to be here this evening to welcome all of you to the 2018 Spring Induction of the National Honor Society. Tonight, we are gathered to recognize the culmination of many years of dedication, persistence, and relentless efforts towards academic excellence. Those being inducted tonight received an invitation to submit an application to the National Honor Society due to their superior grade point average earned thus far in their high school career. The students seated here this evening have earned at least a 3.95 grade point average during their high school experience, an accomplishment that is not easily attained at North Allegheny Senior High School. But the National Honor Society was not founded, nor is it based solely on academic accomplishment. The application process at North Allegheny Senior High School places considerable and equal emphasis on the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society: scholarship, character, leadership, and service. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, grandparents, and friends, these 162 candidates seated here this evening have demonstrated much more than scholarship. They have demonstrated impeccable character. They are our current and future leaders, and they have extended themselves on behalf of others to render assistance to those less fortunate. Speaking on behalf of the administration and staff at North Allegheny Senior High School, you make us proud. Your accomplishments are a tribute to the support of your parents, your teachers, community leaders, and to your own personal accomplishments. Now, with great accomplishment often comes great responsibility and expectations. The expectation is you will not only maintain the attributes necessary to be here this evening, but a commitment to excel and exceed as you exemplify and serve as role models for all others in scholarship, character, leadership, and service. In her famous diary, a young Anne Frank wrote these words: "Parents can only give good advice or put their children on the right path, but the final forming of a person's character lies within their own hands. From this point forward, and after reviewing your applications, I have the confidence that within your hands you will accept this responsibility and exceed the expectations. Your previous actions are a testament that you have the ability. In addition, I have confidence that you will have the desire and motivation to strive diligently to make the world a better place through the application of your talents. With your continued commitment to excellence towards the pillars of the National Honor Society, I am confident that the future holds great promise for each of you. Once again, congratulations." At this time, please join me in welcoming to the podium Margot Weller, our Vice President for the National Honor Society.
Thank you, Dr. Kreider. Hello again, and welcome to the 2018 National Honor Society induction. My name is Margot Weller, and I'm the Vice President of NHS. I will be serving as your Master of Ceremonies for the evening. First of all, congratulations to the 162 inductees here with us this evening. Through its many chapters across the United States and Canada, National Honor Society has made a profound impact on students and their communities since 1921. While you only recently filled out your applications, I know that all of you have spent years building the leadership, scholarship, character, and service that have qualified you for membership in this organization. Now I invite you all to rise and join the singing of our national anthem, performed by Karina El-Khatib, Ida Ozdawanlar, and Ryan Earl.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart
Thank you so much, Karina, Ida, and Ryan. I would now like to welcome Dr. Robert Shearer, the Superintendent of North Allegheny School District, to the podium.
Thank you, Margot. Good evening and welcome to our parents, our family, our friends, our staff members throughout the district, board members who are parents, and of course our new inductees of the National Honor Society. I'm fortunate to attend a number of awards ceremonies throughout the school year. It's quite frankly a perk of the job that gives me an opportunity to meet students who excel in a variety of ways. But the NHS induction ceremony is one of my favorites because of what it represents. At NA, we focus on the importance of being a well-rounded student. And this is exactly what it means to be a member of the National Honor Society. There's 4 main pillars that guide the chapters of the National Honor Society: to create enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate a desire to render service, to promote leadership, and to develop character in the students. Scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Your achievements in these areas are being honored here tonight by your induction into this prestigious organization. An honor such as this is a wonderful way for the individuals in your life to recognize and celebrate the choices and many sacrifices that you've made. Through your induction into the National Honor Society, you are joining a list of the best and brightest high school students dating back to 1921. But your story is still being written. You have great things to accomplish while here in North Allegheny and in the many years to follow. However, on behalf of the school district and on behalf of members of the administrative team, I am glad to be a part of this one moment in your journey. I wish you continued success and congratulate you on this achievement.
Thank you, Dr. Shearer. Next, I would like to welcome our inductee's choice as teacher speaker, Mr. Michael Lyons.
Hello, my name is Mike Lyons, and I'm a history teacher here at Nash. First off, thanks to Mrs. Dana Oliver, Mr. Tangowski, for putting this together and organizing all of this. Dr. Kreider, and all the upper administration. What they do and what they do for these kids is very important in their development, and we cannot thank them enough. Man, they put me in a tough spot. Speaking tonight, I have to follow Dr. Shearer. I'm going to try to match his sharp intellect, robust command of prose, striking good looks, and inspiring leadership. That's going to be difficult. Did I read that right? No, seriously, he's a great guy. We're very fortunate to have him as a leader. It's a privilege and an honor to be a speaker tonight at the 2018 National Honor Society induction. To be selected by these fine young women and men is an honor I do not take lightly. I feel if you speak from the heart, and again, I have some notes up here, but if you speak from the heart, kids will see the sincerity. North Allegheny is a very special place to teach. Everyone truly pitches in to make this feel like a big family, and it makes it extra special when the students select you for this honor. The secret to being young is quite simple. You're energized by the students, such as the ones we're honoring tonight. You are the motivation for why the NA family does what it does. You bring your enthusiasm, your work ethic, your inquisitiveness and curiosity, your sense of humor, your energy to school every day. And we do not want to let you down. Now that does come with some strings attached. Now I'm an honest person, hopefully, and it's a special honor for me to speak at this induction because one of the attendees is very special to me and my family, and I cannot imagine life without him. My son, Tommy. I love to ask students, what are your goals? I receive answers: go to college, raise a family, have a nice job. Those are nice goals, but they are not good for you. You are the best of the best that North Allegheny has to offer. Do not accept mediocrity. In high school, I can't tell you why, but I had an English book on the cover. It was by, there was a quote by John Steinbeck. It is the nature of man to rise to greatness if greatness is expected of him. And I want to pass that on to you. I want you to expect greatness. Those goals aren't good enough. I want you to have over a 4.0. I want you to try to have a lead in the musical. I want you to be a role player on the softball team. Accepting mediocrity, never being satisfied, you need to strive for greatness. As Dr. Scheer said, you're not done. Have you ever amazed yourself? Have you ever shocked yourself by what you have achieved? I call it a mirror moment. You walk in front of the mirror, and you have to pause for a second. Oh my gosh, I just did this. I cannot believe it. Yes, I put in all the hard work. I've done everything I'm supposed to, but I can't believe this is me with this accomplishment. When you cross the mirror before you go to bed at night, you're smiling ear to ear because you're so proud of your greatness that you have achieved. If you have not had a mirror moment in your life, start now. You need to push the envelope. You need to strive for greatness. You got to get outside your comfort zone. Imagine how great that will feel when one night you walk in front of the mirror and you're holding a bouquet of flowers because you had the performance of a lifetime for the lead of the musical at North Allegheny. You're wearing a gold medal for hitting the game-winning home run in the Whitfield Championship softball game. Or you have a certificate as a top scholar for being one of the highest in academic achievers here at North Allegheny. And finally, I am a teacher, and I have to give you some homework tonight, new inductees. Hopefully it doesn't stress you out. I want you to have a back pocket goal. You're thinking, what's a back pocket goal? This is a goal that it's some crazy dream that you have. That if you would ever tell anybody, they would laugh at you or you would be embarrassed. You don't tell anyone. Write something down and just keep it in your back pocket. Something to strive for. Now imagine that mirror moment when you're wearing a Nobel Peace Prize, holding an Oscar, or dare I say, you pick up the phone to give your old history teacher a call and offer him a personal tour of the White House. If you've never thought about a back pocket goal, your dreams of greatness will never come true. And again, in closing, a special shout out to my son, Tommy. I'm very proud of you and I'm proud of the entire induction class. It has been truly an honor and a privilege to be able to speak to you tonight. And those of you that know me, my signature line is, happy trails. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lyons. Your message reminds us of the importance of setting goals and holding ourselves to high standards, and I think we can all agree that we really appreciated your sense of humor tonight. I would now like to take the time to acknowledge the distinguished guests of honor for tonight's ceremony. With us tonight are Dr. Robert Scheer, the Superintendent of North Allegheny, Dr. John Kreider, the Principal of Nash, Mr. David Christopher, the Assistant Superintendent for K-12 Education, Dr. Tammy Draco, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum, Assessment, and Professional Development, and Ms. McEwen and Mr. McGahey, the Assistant Principals of Nash. On behalf of NHS, I would like to extend our gratitude to these individuals for their presence here tonight and their strong support of this organization. Another thank you to Mr. Tozier, Mr. Zebley, and Joe Borsch for helping with stage crew, as well as the string quartet showcased this evening, Amon Khalid, Nina Ruffalo, Melanie Berkovich, and Teague Urban. Next, I would like to introduce this year's NHS officers. Our president is Andrew Shirazi. I am the vice president. Karina El-Khatib serves as secretary. Anna Barton is treasurer. Zach Shukro is the service chair. Stefan Bordiano serves as our social chair. Gracie Lamaro is the publicity chair. And Julia Patzak and Delara Ozdawanlar serve as our technical chairs. Mrs. Oliver and Mr. Tangowski serve as our faculty advisors. These individuals have all put in a lot of time and energy into numerous service projects and kept the organization running smoothly this year. I now have the privilege of introducing our distinguished alumnus speaker, Ms. Katie Schmick. Ms. Schmick is a 2009 graduate of North Allegheny Senior High School. She received her bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering at Penn State Trier Honors College. She then moved to medical school at the University of Maryland. Ms. Schmeck will graduate from medical school in May and begin residency training in OBGYN at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. She has always enjoyed teaching and hopes to be involved in medical education in addition to clinical practice. Ms. Schmick's impressive accomplishments and aspirations exemplify the values of National Honor Society. At this time, please welcome our distinguished alumnus, Ms. Katie Schmick.
Thank you for that kind introduction, and thanks to all that has spoken before me. My name is Katie Schmick. Many of you may know my mother, the physics teacher, or my brother, the choir director, and tonight you're going to get to meet another Schmick. It's an honor speaking to you guys tonight at this special event. Students, congratulations on your induction. This is a really big honor, and it acknowledges your many achievements as well as your academic record. Congratulations also to the parents that are here. I know that I would not be where I am without my parents, and so I want to extend a big thank you to help in your help getting your kids here today. I, like you, was sitting in this auditorium 10 years ago as an NHS inductee. As she mentioned in the introduction, I then went to Penn State to study bioengineering, took 1 year off before starting medical school at the University of Maryland. I've had an absolutely fantastic time studying medicine, and in May I will graduate and start residency in OBGYN. I'm extremely grateful for the education that I've received here at North Allegheny, and have always felt that it set me up for success. Teachers like Mr. Lyons, Mr. Tangowski, Ms. Volpe, Mr. Davis left a lasting impression on me and remain some of my greatest role models. Tonight, like those before me, I would like to reflect on the 4 pillars of National Honor Society: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Scholarship. You all are here because you've done well academically. I like to think of scholarship not only as doing well on tests, but delving into a study. This is a journey that doesn't always have a straight path. I would have been very surprised if someone told me as a high school student that I would be an OBGYN in 10 years. I started engineering in college. I liked physics and math, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a teacher. I thought about a career in medicine, maybe an engineer like my parents. As I went through college, I realized I didn't really want to be an engineer. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and that was very stressful. Some of you may have moments like this when you're very stressed because you're not sure what you should do. But sometimes there are other moments. I remember a week in my junior year of college, I was reading a book called The Emperor of All Maladies. It's a cancer biography of sorts. And I went to this panel of Schreier alumni who were either medical students or new doctors. I called my mom the day after the panel, and she noted that I was very excited. I said, I think this is what I want to do. It was a moment of clarity, and the next day I went to an advisor on applying to medical school, and I have not looked back since. Sometimes I think the stress of not knowing what I wanted to do is more stressful than the actual stress of being in medical school. Many others know exactly what they want to do. My brother knew he wanted to teach music even when he was in high school. I hope that you all find a profession that fuels you with a passion and makes you never want to stop learning. As you find your way there, I urge you to say yes to any opportunity. as you never know which one may take you there and get that moment of clarity. Leadership. We often think of leadership as something we list on our applications. We're the president of this club, captain of that team. I encourage you to continue to develop these leadership skills, but also to remember that you have more subtle qualities of leadership. You are the students who get to class on time, with your notebooks open, attentive, ready to listen. The ones who other students watch and they say, wow, look at how on top of it she is. Don't forget that this sort of leadership, leading by example, does not go unnoticed. To continue to develop your leadership skills, especially as students and trainees, look to a mentor. Mentors can be your teachers now, your coaches, your professors in college, your work colleagues, or your parents. These people have the ability to draw out possibilities in you which you didn't know existed. Service. This pillar of National Honor Society seems to be one that many of you have already mastered. I was amazed to hear from my mom about the completely student-run and organized Project Water and Tigerthon, which both raised over $34,000 for several years in a row. I commend you for these efforts and felt very inspired by you. Service does not have to only be these large charity events. When I was in NHS here, I participated in reading with students at Hozak Elementary School. This was so much fun for me, I often forgot that it was actually a service project. In the first year of medical school, I volunteered in a kindergarten class in a Baltimore City public elementary school, a school with vastly different resources than North Allegheny. Often I walked the few blocks to the school thinking of all the other things I wanted to be doing that afternoon. I needed to study for our huge physiology test on Friday, I needed to email people about my summer research project, and I needed to get my run in. On my walk home, I felt completely different. Not only did the teacher get some relief from the stress of corralling 15 5-year-olds, but I got to spend 2 hours reading books, coloring, teaching students to count, and joining in recess games. In interviews for residency this year, I was asked which volunteer activity had been my favorite. Every time, I talked about volunteering at the elementary school. It had been a rewarding experience to be a positive influence in these children's lives, but I also became a better doctor by realizing the environment in which many of my patients live and grow up. Service, I realized, helps others, but also expanded the world around me. Character. Character is who you are when no one else is watching. I saved this for last because without good character, success in the other categories disappears. I urge you to continue to build upon the excellent characters that teachers have already identified in you. Some ways to do this are to make and maintain good friendships. The friends that I made at North Allegheny are now spread across the country, but we still come together every few months, and it feels as though no time has passed. They continue to be role models of character for me and inspire introspection into my own character. Also, maintain relationships with your family and especially your parents. They know you better than most and sometimes are a good refresher about being honest with yourself and who you want to be. Finally, be kind. In a world full of technology, the importance of a smile and a kind gesture must not be forgotten. As most of my time is spent interacting with or observing others interact with patients, I see a lot of examples of good and bad character. Imagine you had an accident and end up in the emergency room late at night. You'll probably encounter a resident who works 80 hours a week, doesn't get much sleep, doesn't have a lot of time for food, and really wants to go home to see their family. This resident may have many reasons to be short, unempathetic, and unkind, but this experience is exponentially better for everyone, the patient, their family, the physician themselves, if the doctor is kind. No matter what profession you pursue, being kind always earns respect and makes for better relationships. Your qualities of scholarship, leadership, service, and character got you into these seats tonight, and I hope that you realize the potential to continue to cultivate and unleash these characteristics as you finish your last year of high school and start your next journey. The next few years will be an incredible time of growth, and I hope you are excited for what lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schmick. Congratulations on your upcoming graduation and best of luck in your future endeavors. We appreciate you being with us tonight to share with us your experiences. National Honor Society is an organization devoted first and foremost to serving our community. Over the course of the last year, North Allegheny NHS members have participated in well over 1,400 hours of meaningful service. Our technical chairs, Delara and Julia, and NATV's Roman McCucci put together a video to give you a glimpse into NHS. We hope you enjoy it.
In a high school full of too much homework, terrible heating, and insane teachers, Andrew Shirazi, that's me. And these are my 8 best friends, and we try to do the impossible. We created a guide to help you survive NHS.
Tip number 1, show up to every meeting. Tip number 2, don't suck up the tea.
Tip number 3, if you have a problem, go straight to Tingalski. Tip number 4, don't cheat on your integral packet.
Tip number 5, get your hours done early.
Tip number 6, volunteer at Vincentian, tutoring, or World Vision.
Tip number 7, don't complain.
Tip number 8, sign into your North Allegheny email. Tip number 9, keep up your 395.
Another thank you to Roman for producing that video and for Julia and Delara for organizing it. The National Honor Society was founded on 4 key pillars, as you've already heard about tonight: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. To further explain the importance of these principles, we will hear about them from 4 of our officers. Andrew will address leadership, Karina will speak about character, Anna will discuss scholarship, and Zach will highlight the importance of service. I invite Andrew to the podium to speak about leadership.
Think about all the leaders you've had, all the leaders throughout history. What do these leaders possess that make them so effective? Many have wondered, what is the hallmark quality of leadership? The ability to persuade people to trust your opinions and follow you? Can it be characterized by winning a high political office? Or the ability to command a great army in battle? There are only a few individuals throughout our American history who have become revered and prototypical leaders. One of them being our first US President, George Washington. Despite exercising leadership to accomplish victories like winning our independence against Great Britain, what is most fascinating about Washington is what he decided not to do. At the end of the American Revolution, many wanted General Washington to become king or emperor of the newly formed country, and it was likely that he would have become leader for life. However, he is famously known as one of the few men in history who voluntarily relinquished his great political and military power. So in the end, George Washington has taught us the greatest quality of leadership is putting the interest of others, or the country, above our own. Being a leader isn't about commanding those around you. It's about empowering others to accomplish great things. Leaders recognize that their aim isn't creating followers, but instead developing other leaders. Simply stated, John Quincy Adams remarks, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." All of you have been selected today because you have displayed leadership amongst your friends, peers, and community. And as inductees today, you can become prominent leaders in this school and beyond. And I urge you not to take that responsibility lightly. I hope the National Honor Society gives you the opportunity to display and develop your leadership skills. Thank you and congratulations. I now invite Karina El-Khatib to come up and speak about character.
The mention of National Honor Society may bring a few stereotypes to mind. A perfect GPA, for example, a leadership position, or maybe an excellence in certain extracurricular activities. However, when thinking of an NHS member, their character is the first thing we remember, such as Mr. Tangowski's alter ego of the Reaper. All jokes aside, a student must have character to be genuinely committed to bettering themselves and their community. In the school atmosphere and in National Honor Society, to have good character is to be reliable, responsible, and kind. A crucial part of any National Honor Society member is the integrity and honesty they must show inside and outside of the classroom. By cheating, or even comparing test scores among your class, you fail to demonstrate the proper character that is required for National Honor Society. When it comes to character in NHS, it is important to remember that this is a place where students are encouraged to be ambitious, while not obsessing over competition. Mr. Tangowski, Mrs. Oliver, and many others have worked tremendously hard to make this a healthy environment dedicated to learning and growth, one where every student is equal. What truly makes character unique is its inability to be quantitatively measured. No GPA, hours, or amount of leadership roles can define your character. However, character can easily be measured by the impact you make on somebody's life, your dedication to academics and extracurriculars, as well as your ability to guide others in the right direction. If the character pillar strikes students as something to disregard, as it is not measured by a number, they may regrettably miss the personal growth opportunities that NHS so greatly provides through its wide range of service activities and fun-loving advisors, officers, and members. I congratulate all of you on your induction into National Honor Society and urge you to keep in mind that this organization is more than just a name to add to your college resume. We are a group of students with true character who wish to better our community. And in the end, it is our character that motivates us to help others. It is our character that drives us to become better students. It is your character that defines you. Thank you. Sorry. I now invite Anna Barden to the podium to talk about scholarship.
When scholarship is mentioned in regard to National Honor Society, most jump to the conclusion that it only represents the required 3.95 GPA. However, there is so much more to this pillar than a number. Scholarship has been, and always will be, a significant aspect of your lives. Throughout high school, you have recognized your own scholarship through SAT scores, course rigor, or a pre-calculus test score. Your entire lives have revolved around a quantized grading system consisting of the distinct values of A, B, C's, D's, and, well, let's just stop there. Although this may seem stressful, we actually have it pretty easy as students. Our work is constantly evaluated through a well-defined system that tells us how we are doing at any moment. A single letter defines our effort in each subject. A low grade encourages us to work harder and aim higher. A high grade provides a sense of accomplishment and pride. At this point in our lives, we can easily measure our success through grades. Eventually, we will no longer have the luxury of Tyler SIS Student 360 to notify us of our performance at work and in other areas of our lives. We must establish a new evaluation of scholarship, one that is unique to our future occupation and personal life. An A will be represented by a doctor's ability to help her patients and an engineer's skill of creating a useful product. Although our future work evaluations will not be as structured as they are now, the benefits of getting a, quote, good grade will inevitably be more rewarding and may have an impact far beyond ourselves. Thus, what will determine your success in the future are your work efforts regarding your scholarship right now. Your dedication to your academics will set habits that will benefit you later on in every aspect of your life. Eventually, your work will be displayed for the world to see. Now it can be limited to your parents' refrigerator door. Already, each of you has demonstrated your devotion to scholarship by achieving a 3.95 GPA. As North Allegheny Tigers, you are already hardworking, creative, and spirited students. As members of the National Honor Society, you represent students with the utmost scholarship, along with character, leadership, and service, the 4 principal pillars of NHS. Tonight is a night to recognize your accomplishments in those 4 areas. I congratulate each and every one of you on your induction to National Honor Society and encourage you to continue your academic diligence for the sake of the future scholar in you. Thank you. I now invite Zach Shuckrow to the podium to speak about service.
Of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society, the requirement of service allows the most room for creativity and self-direction. Therefore, it can also be the most personal. The NHS Charter defines service as the willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without compensation or recognition of any kind. National Honor Society members are expected to give their all to the school and community at large. Since most of the service hours will be accumulated during your senior year, when you might have 1 or 2 other things on your mind, it may seem daunting to think about this pillar, but I am here to assure you that not only will you be able to meet and exceed the hours requirement, but it will be one of the most enjoyable tasks of your senior year. Since their induction 1 year ago, the 162 outgoing members of the National Honor Society, the current seniors, have logged over 1,700 hours of community service, and our top volunteer, Anna Barton, who just spoke to you, has chartered more than 40 hours on her own. If we can do it, so can you. Some of the sponsored projects to which we dedicate ourselves include tutoring, packaging clothing and other supplies at World Vision to be shipped to third world countries, assisting at a weekly bingo night at the Vincentian Home, mentoring the younger students in the district from Bradford Woods Elementary, Hozak Elementary, Ingomar Elementary, Marshall Middle, and McKnight Elementary at intramural sports or other after-school activities, and co-hosting a blood drive with the Central Blood Bank. But these aren't the only opportunities for service. Many of our members also pursue community service opportunities such as volunteering at UPMC Hospital, working with kids with special needs at the Woodlands, helping with Toys for Tots activities, and assisting with horseback riding for the handicapped. These accomplishments, both the school-sponsored ones and the community-based activities, truly reflect the essence of the National Honor Society membership. In fact, the service pillar is the one that most often simultaneously embraces the other pillars of scholarship, leadership, and character. When we have to figure out the new math to help our elementary school friends with their assignments, we lean pretty heavily on our scholarship. When we make sure that a kiddo with physical challenges can experience all of the joys of a camp that his or her typical peers can, we show leadership. And when we show up on a dark, snowy Wednesday night to play bingo with our very grateful Vincentian friends, knowing full well that we will be up an extra 2 hours doing homework that night, we demonstrate character. These service projects really do unlock the best parts of us. So, in conclusion, your senior year will be filled with all sorts of to-do list items, deadlines, and yes, some stress. Your service hours really can be a respite from all this craziness, so please consider taking the time to smell these very fragrant roses. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve." I challenge you all to be great next year, and I truly believe that you can. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Andrew, Karina, Anna, and Zach. Finally, at this time, I will introduce Mrs. Oliver and Mr. Tengalski to officially introduce our new members.
Thank you, Margot. Two things. One, you saw many references to the Reaper. She's the good one. I'm the mean one. I will yell at them. I will complain about them. If they see me with a white envelope, that's a bad sign. That means they're getting a warning of some kind. So just understand, if you want hugs, go to that one. If you want someone to be stern, come to this one. Second, some thank yous. Again, our admin team, Dr. Kreider, Mr. McGahee, Mrs. McEwen. Thank you again, Dr. Shear, Dr. Andraco, Mr. Christopher from Central. We really appreciate all of your support. Mr. Tozier, Mr. Zebley, and the stage crew for all of their help over the past couple days. Special thank you again to Mr. Lyons, our guest teacher speaker, and Miss Katie Schmick, our distinguished alumnus. Two more big thank yous, and from the bottom of my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a student-run organization. Mrs. Oliver and I oversee what's going on, but everything that is done here tonight is done by our officers and our leadership team. So can I get a round of applause again for our leadership team? Thank you for everything. And secondly, I can't help but thank Mrs. Oliver enough. She is my rock. She is the organized one. She helps keep me straight. She helps keep me on the path. And Mrs. Oliver, I thank you again for everything. And now, the inductees to the National Honor Society. Please walk up your side, shake hands with the administrators that you see, and then head behind the curtain, and we'll continue from there. Ashley Adams. Please hold your applause at the end. I apologize.
Abigail Edelman.
Zara Ahmad.
Jordana Avagad.
Brooke Barsha.
Jessica Berry.
Mitali Balambe.
Savannah Benko.
Ashley Bemke.
Jennifer Booker.
Anatole Borisov.
Leah Brandstetter.
Melanie Berkovich.
Reagan Brodeen.
Kayla Brown.
Catherine Kao.
Anna Capria.
Elena Cremodi.
Jacqueline Culkins.
Michael Ceccarelli.
Jerry Chen.
Jiwoo Chan.
William Chong.
Ethan Chi.
Kristen Chomos.
Antonia Christou.
Mark Shirazi.
Emmy Sykens.
Tori Seekins.
Carolyn Clark.
Joseph Kalela.
Matthew Cole.
Eli Colton.
Kaylee Cooper.
Sean Cullen.
Elizabeth Cullen.
Harshal Dahake.
Natalie Dannenhirsch.
Skylar Davidson.
Rhea Divicker.
Liam Donley.
Alexander Dunmeyer.
Jenna Edelman.
Michael Ignazik.
John Ailing.
Terry Faber.
Cora Fiedler.
Gunnar Fisher.
Trevor Freivogel.
Annabelle Frischling.
Angela Genter.
Mackenzie Gongalware.
Patrick Gormley.
John Graham.
Nicholas Grumsky.
Shweta Gudapati.
Emma Gunn.
Samuel Haver.
Sinai Heist.
Gilbert Ribel III.
Emily Hu.
Ashley Wong.
Shannon Huber.
Kelsey Hudson.
Catherine Hutchison.
Ethan James.
Richard Carapandi.
Eleni Katsis.
Christopher Katyal.
Aman Khalid.
Mary Corey.
Elena Kim.
Subin Kim.
Kira Klein.
Daniel Colano.
Allison Collitz.
Sarah Kovacic.
William Kraus.
Shannon Kress.
Jetta Kroll.
Jordan Latta.
Chloe Lauer.
Olivia Lawn.
Christopher Lee.
Diane Lee.
Ella Lee.
Matthew Lee.
David Lamaro.
Jack Lopazinski.
Amanda Liu.
Kevin Liu.
Tommy Lyons.
Jay Mahajan.
Elise Maletta.
Samantha Marion.
Alexis McClure.
Morgan McConnell.
Nina McElhatton.
Lila McGrath.
Morgan McVeigh.
Emily Meinert.
Melissa Metzger.
Aaron Miller.
Michael Matoli.
Siddharth Mittal.
Wesi McAndery.
Maxwell Moore.
Erica Mrazik.
Ratika Nagpal.
Caroline Netrauer.
Reka Nunoya.
Michaela Oberly.
Stephen Pan.
Olivia Petropola.
Francis Pike.
Marissa Potmeyer.
Alexandra Poltorok.
Justin Ramey.
Roma Ronade.
Robert Ronaldo.
Nisha Rao.
Elizabeth Rapp.
Bethany Ricci.
Nicole Rue.
Nina Ruffalo.
Caitlin Salzman.
Emmanuel Sacho.
Caleb Schweiger.
Laura Schwendeman.
Michaelin Seal.
Tomer Shamir.
Rebecca Shaw.
Hayden Shimko.
Austin Skopov.
Jessica Smith.
Maeve Smith.
Caitlin Stone.
Reed Sutterby.
Akshaya Sudhakar.
Roy Sun.
Sophia Swenson.
Amy Tian.
Zachary Tredinich.
Luke Turkovich.
Teague Urban.
Shadipto Wahed.
Maureen Walsh.
Eileen Wang.
Sarah Wang.
William Wang.
Christopher Weller.
Grace Whipke.
Jake Williams.
Elizabeth Woods.
Jack Wright.
Roshi Shing.
David Shu.
Ria Yadov.
Colby Yaglowski.
Gloria Yee.
Casey Yip.
Kaylee Yip. And even though he left the stage, I would like to take a minute to thank my partner, Mr. Tangowski, for being my balance and my checks and balances for National Honor Society. And congratulations again to our inductees. You and your families should be very proud. Can we get a round of applause for all of our inductees? I invite you to please enjoy refreshments following the ceremony. And to conclude this ceremony, our president, Andrew Shirazi, will now say the pledge with all of our inductees on the stage.
All right, everyone, put your right hand up. Very nice. Repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to these principles for which it states. I will be loyal to my school. And I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Congratulations. Inductees, please stay up there, and parents, we encourage you to come up and take pictures. Thank you.